Wow. 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 Yet another unbelievable game in this World Cup. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a comeback from Brazil. Kudos to Brazil for being able to go through to the next round, eliminating Japan. But Japanese fans, please don't hold your head low. Like, seriously, you've given it your best, especially in the first half. Second half, thoroughly Brazil, changed things up. And we're going to talk about all of this in detail. But Japan, you have a lot to be proud of. You really do. So I've got a lot of good things to say about you guys. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of this video because, I need to talk about Japan. But Brazil, we're going to start things off with Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the round of 16. What a sensational comeback. What an incredible contrast between both halves. Whatever was said in the halftime message by Ancelotti, yes, it was delivered by the Brazilian players, and there was a definite tactical change in approach. Of course, Endrick coming on, everything. I'm not saying that Endrick changed the match, but that was the intention that now we're going to have to change the approach here. Let's start with the first half. Honestly, Brazil in the first half, they weren't in the game. They really weren't in the game. Japan were buzzing, intense, full of energy. Imagine a team like Japan without the ball. We're still the superior team in the first half. Brazil had most of the possession, but even with the possession, Brazil in the first half, they looked nervous. I've never seen a team without the ball be so superior to the opposition. It wasn't as if Japan was in a low block, completely just holding off. No, Japan didn't have the ball in the first half, but they pressed. They won back the ball. They launched counterattacks. And you could see Brazil were very, very scared about that, rattled about that. And then eventually enough, an amazing goal from Sono. I believe his name's Sano. Amazing goal from Sano. Picks up the ball, mistimed pass from a Brazilian player in midfield. And that's exactly what Japan were looking for in the first half. Mistimed passes, pick it up, and drive at Brazil with pace and try and create havoc up front. And Brazil similarly were very, very scared about that whole situation. So Sano picks up the mistimed pass and just drives through the heart of the Brazilian midfield and defense, lashes off a fantastic shot, which no chance for Alisson at all. And at that point, you're thinking, especially me, I was definitely thinking, oh my days, I think Japan's going to do it here. The way Japan was moving, the way they were so organized, the way they were so energized, even without the ball, you felt that, oh, I think Brazil's in deep trouble. But one thing I have to say, because Japan all throughout the group stage, ladies and gentlemen, looked great just like this. First half looking amazing, full of energy. They move the ball good. Even off the ball, they're so organized. But in the second half, they do start tanking. Maybe it's because of all the energy that they've, used up all throughout the match. By the latter stages of the match, it's not the same. And they are definitely susceptible to the aerial barrage. And that's exactly what happened in the second half. Brazil goes off, second half, Ancelotti must have given them, a proper, lecture. And of course, the approach, the tactical approach definitely changed. Definitely changed. Because straight after the second half, oh my God, Brazil was a totally different team. Moving the ball quick, but most importantly, having plenty of players inside the box and just barrage, like wave after wave of aerial barrage. And honestly, before Brazil even equalized, there was at least 3 other top chances from Brazil to head the ball in. I think Ramirez had a chance. I think Cunha had a chance as well. I remember there was another one too. Vinicius Jr. had an amazing opportunity as well in the second half. Endrick's introduction, even though Endrick, it's not like he absolutely tore this game apart, no, but his introduction was an intent of, we're going to try and go at you. Endrick pressed. Unlike in the first half, Brazil just couldn't be in the front foot, even though they had the ball. But in the second half, the way Endrick was pressing, the way everyone else was pressing as well, made sure Japan was boxed in. And that's the number one thing you got to do. You box your opposition in, and that's exactly what Brazil did. And then the pressure was too much. Japan in the second half, ladies and gentlemen, just didn't do anything. We're just incapable of doing anything. And then right at the end, you could sense it. Even though the match was going into extra time, it looked like it was going into extra time. You could just feel, I think Brazil's going to do the job. And right at the end, Martinelli. Equalizer from Casemiro earlier on, and then Martinelli right at the end. And it was such a brilliant move as well. Opened it up for Martinelli, and Martinelli slotted it in. And by that time, Japan was cooked. They were run ragged. Incredible. Also, really good comeback from Casemiro, because that first half from Casemiro was not good. And in the second half, he got himself a header, which was the crucial equalizer. Now, let's have a look at the stats in this game, because I think this will tell us a lot of truth. Okay. Brazil 2-1 against Japan. Casemiro equalized. Sano scored in the first half, and Martinelli, the hard break right at the end. Absolute heartbreaker. The stadium was buzzing, ladies and gentlemen. Full capacity, attendance almost full capacity, 68,000. I think you can deem that as, full attendance. The atmosphere just looked electric on TV. 69% possession, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely ate up Japan in the second half. Even though in the first half there was a lot of possession, but that possession didn't really mean anything. Second half, the possession was just too much pressure. Expected goals, 1.72 for Brazil to 0.23 from Japan. Really did not create anything. Even the goal that they scored, that would have been such a low XG. Besides that goal, there was nothing else from Japan at all. 19 shots on total for Brazil to 5 for Japan. 35 touches inside the box to 11. I mean, Brazil absolutely touched up Japan. Proper touched them up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at more detailed stats. 4 big chances created to 0 big chances created to Japan. I mean, it was a total domination. It really was a total domination. But in the first half, I kid you not, you would have thought, maybe Brazil's going to get probably eliminated here. This is how Brazil set up from the get-go. Ramirez was there, Ryan up front in the right side, Cunha in the middle, Vinicius on the left, Paqueta, who left injured. And in the back line, Santos, Gabriel, Marquinhos was really good, and Danilo. The substitutions that really made the difference, I feel like. I mean, difference in the sense that change of intent. Endrick coming on the 46th minute. I believe that was for Paqueta, yep. And then Martinelli, obviously, 65th minute, coming on for Cunha, getting the winner, which was incredible for Brazil. So, ladies and gentlemen, another top match, another heartbreaker today. Yesterday, Canada with the heartbreaker. Today, Brazil with the heartbreaker. To the Japanese fans, a final message to wrap things off, because Brazil, kudos to you. You move on to the next stage. Kudos to the Brazilian fans. Congratulations. Enjoy this victory. You move on to the round of 16. And I want you to be a proper threat in this World Cup. I want you to be a proper threat. And I want to see Neymar. Neymar obviously didn't get to feature in this game. To Japan. You guys are a sensational team. Really, you are. You truly are. You just now need to figure out how to package up an entire 90 minutes, because somewhere along the way, in the second half, you start tanking. And this isn't the first time. We've seen this against Sweden as well. Sweden in the second half, especially in the final 20, 25 minutes, were all over Japan. So Japan, it's been a really good World Cup. I think it could have been a little bit more, but that's fine. This is good progress. Next World Cup, you need to start really becoming a top dog in the world stage. I feel like a lot of people have been saying, in Asia, if anyone wins the World Cup ever, I think you guys are getting closer and closer. The technical ability, the pace, the energy, you've got it. You've got it all. Now you just need to, especially aerially in defense, you need to sort that out. How you're going to tackle that down the track, that's something that you need to figure out. But yeah, that endurance as well. Endurance to go all the way to 90 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Big up to Brazil. Heartbreaker right at the end for Japan. And then move on to the round of 32. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.